In this week's episode, I have given Moss and Toots a real treat. I have got them a professional valet service from Shiny Side Up and James Ricardo.
Okay, so a lot of the black pitting that you see, and it's a build-up of iron from the brake pads. So a lot of the brake pads, well, in fact most brake pads have iron elements in them, and once it heats up from being obviously applied to the brake disc, little filings of it come off and then land on the wheel, and it just pits itself and lands itself in the wheels. It's very hard to remove, but with an Iron X or a decent wheel cleaner you can actually remove it really nicely. Only downside is it smells a bit. This is, it's actually called drive chain cleaner, but it's a fantastic degreaser. It just helps lift any of the grease that can be solidified when it hits the engine. It heats up and sits on there. Helps to remove tar, stubborn bits of grease, dirt, grime. It's almost like a pre-wash that I do to it. It's really good for engines and metals and drive chains, obviously. Great little nozzle on this one. I actually designed it because rather than just coming out as a spray, it foams it up, which is quite nice. Just allows it to agitate it, get some air into it, make it thicker, and then the product stays on the bike for longer, doing its job.
So is the idea that the dirt adheres to the foam, is it? Or
well, yeah, the foam. When snow foam and all foam products came out, it was a bit of a gimmick. I'll be honest with you. It's not until recently that companies have realised that snow foam is actually a really good product. By making it thick, it allows the product to be less concentrated or less aggressive, and it can just stay there for longer, which means it gets the results better. There is products out there that have got contact time, so when you're spraying it on, it says please remove within 3 minutes, please remove within 5 minutes, or whatever it may be. Personally, stay away from them. You don't want products like that, because all that's going to do is it's showing that it's aggressive, it's bad, and it's going to have long-term effects on the bike. So the first one I put on was the degreaser, basically. That's done its magic on there. Then I've applied the bike wash, which works really well to help remove any grease, dirt, grime, anything that's on top of that as well. Mainly for the painted surfaces, the plastics and everything. I'm going to let that settle for about 5-10 minutes or so. We'll start a bit of agitation, and then we get the snow foam on the go. Okay, so Pro Green MX snow foam is brilliant. You can just have it as a pre-wash, you can have it as a general wash, or you can use it as part of a process like I'm doing today. The application is all based on a snow foam lance. Now, it's designed to be very, very thick. It's got lots of foaming agents in it, so whatever you use, it will come out really thick. But the best application, in fact, I'll show you, will always be through a pressure washer with one of these snow foam lances, available for most jet washers nowadays. And that's designed to really aerate the product, allow it to get as much air into it as possible, get it as thick as possible, and give you a lovely thick finish on it. It just means the product will stay on for as long as possible. And it works really well. You can see that I've done a bit of work before I put it on, and I don't know if you want to see, but the mud that's coming off it, you can see it actually caught in the foam and draining away from the bike. So you know it's working well.
so how long have you got to leave this on for?
There's no time limit. You can leave it on for as little or as long as you want. I like to do it so you can see that most of it has come off, 80-90% of it's come off. You can either then apply a second coat if it's really soiled, or you can just go straight for a jet wash and rinse it all off again. Yeah.
So I was under the impression that snow foam is all that you need to clean a bike. Is that not? I mean, seeing what you've done today, that's clearly not the case.
It can be. You know, snow foam is great for a general. You know, if it's a summer's day, like, you know, as lovely as it is now, you go out for a ride, you come back, it's got a bit of dirt on it. Yeah, you can get away with just snow foam in it. Snow foam can also be used as a pre-wash if you want it to, but if you are doing the deep clean, I use it as part of the process. I use it either as a start or a beginning or the end of it, you know, to really just get in there, and it's such a powerful product. It's great to use as part of your general cleaning anyway.
What are we looking at now? This is XCP.
So yeah, once I got to this sort of stage where I'm happy that the bike is at a certain stage of cleanliness, then I can apply the protection on top of it. Of course, the protection is only as good as the surface you're putting it on. So the product I use, XCP Professional Rust Blocker. I've used many different ones, this, ACF 50, they're all good to an extent. I personally recommend this one for the duration it lasts for, the easiness of applying it, and obviously the surface it leaves as well. Just spray it straight onto the surface that you need, massage it in with a paintbrush or some sort of detailing brush, and let it cure for a good while.
So you apply it to specific parts, presumably, not
Yes,
as a coating.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you can go pretty crazy with it, to be fair. You can do all your electrics and everything, but the main thing to remember is don't do your brakes, don't do your seat, don't do your tyres, or if you are going to do near those areas, spray it onto the brush first and then just apply it there if you need to. But as far as metal and bolts and all that sort of things concerned, go crazy with it.
And how long does the protective coating last, or is it something you need to?
You can reapply it. You know, I mean, I do mine 4 times a year. That is overkill, I'll be honest with you. But what I say to most customers is it gives you about 6 to 8 months worth of protection, depending on how often you go out on it and how you look after it afterwards. Nothing lasts forever. It will eventually come off, of course. The salt on the road now is aggressive and it will start removing it, but if you rinse it down after you've been out and it's been heavily soiled, and use a very mild cleaner, or you know, use the Pro Green MX bike wash that we use, for example, then it will last 6 to 8 months, maybe even more.
Awesome. So as a general coating, if you find areas of rust, do you apply more, or is there additional work required?
Yes and no. It depends on how bad the rust is initially. I mean, realistically, if it's badly rusted, you want to be able to remove the rust first before you get to this sort of stage. So there's a couple of bits of rust I've seen on the, I think that one actually, that I'm going to actually remove as much of the rust I can, treat it separately, and then apply it afterwards. But yeah, if there's an area that you find that a lot of water gets to, or you get that initial surface rust on, then it's worth applying a bit of a thicker layer to it, or maybe even leaving it on a bit gloopy initially, just to help prevent any sort of build-up of salt or anything. Yeah.
And do you have to do anything after you put the coating on, like wash it off, or
so
just
once
leave
it's
it?
on, you just remove the excess, because realistically the actual layer of the XCP is really good, but it's very thin, so you don't need it as thick that I put on. I only put it on thick because I want it to cure and bond to the surface, and then I wipe off in some areas and actually jet wash the remaining bits of it off, and you'll see that it leaves a waterproof finish to it, if you like, so you know it's definitely on there, which is great. Once I've rinsed it all down, I'm happy with the finish of it. I then apply Aftershine while it's still wet. It's a silicone-based water dispersant, and it's designed to just dry the bike out without any water spots. Disperses all the water from the elements of the bike that I physically can't get into, but also leaves a beautiful silicone finish and shine behind it. Just finishes the bike off absolutely lovely, and gives you another layer of protection as well.
Mate, you've done an incredible job. I say, I'm not just saying this, you've cleaned things I didn't think you would clean. Like, even my GoPro holder seems to be sparkling. It's quite amazing. mate, I would shake your hand if we were allowed to.
True, not allowed to at the moment, but
But beyond impressed. Air high five. We'll have to put one of those kapow little things in there. So yeah, I cannot recommend this dude highly enough. And also, big thank you for being so game today. We had a bit of fun with some little skits and stuff.
I enjoyed it, I really did.
So, yeah, that means a lot, mate. And thank you for supporting ROC as well.
You're doing it for a good cause, and it's worth shouting about, so we'll do that as well for you.
So if your bike needs cleaning, I can't think of anybody better than James. So look out for Shiny Side Up. My brain keeps wanting to say Sunny. Actually, I can't even say it then. Shiny Side Up, absolutely incredible. Book your bikes in now, because I think he's going to be a busy boy now. We're all allowed to go out in the summer. So nice one, mate. Thank you very much.
Excellent, lovely.
Okay, so before I sign off, I just want to say that I paid James for the service today, and he immediately gave me 50 quid back to donate to the charity. So this lad is a top bloke. A massive thank you to James. You're about to see a little skit that we did just to give you all a reward for supporting us, basically. I'm more than happy to make a complete mug out of myself if it means you'll donate to the charity. But James just did this out of the kindness of his heart or the gullibility of his head, I'm not sure. But anyway, cheers James, check this out. See you later guys. So do you remember when you were a little kid and you got so excited about the sound of an ice cream truck? Well, there it is. Oh my god, I'm so excited. This is like the equivalent of an ice cream truck for motorbikers. Come check this out. Oh. Chain degreaser. Paraffin based bike wash protector. Bosch Aquatech power washer.
You having a stroke? Some people.
Shiny Side Up, pleasuring motorbikers since 2019.